You know, when you've got a cold, miserable day, you want to eat something warm and cozy. So what I thought we'd do is it's going to be a creamy lobster linguine. So let me show you what we've got. These are some lobster mushrooms that I got at the farmer's market. These have a nice, kind of a fishy taste, kind of a fishy smell, which we're gonna use, and we're gonna play that up to make kind of a seafoody stew. Then, of course, I've got the thyme and the garlic, some cherry tomatoes just to add a little more acid, and then my onion. So why don't I start with the onion? I'm gonna just slice it up. I'm gonna give a nice careful cut to the onion because this is onion that people are gonna chew. So whenever somebody's gonna have the onion in their mouth, you want it to be nice little squares. So I'm just gonna follow the radius of the mushroom, the onion, follow the radius of the onion, just like that. Just follow. Every time I cut, I'm going to make a cat paw, like that. You don't ever want to cut with your fingers extended. Okay. Alright. Now, I'm going to use some of this. This is something new. This is coconut butter. I don't know if you can see that. It's a amazing kind of creamy, sweet butter, and it has a little bit of cashew. It's got a little bit of cashew nut milk in it, which is kind of giving it this extra body, giving it a little creaminess. So I'm going to use a nice fat dollop of that. Watch that spin around in the pan a little bit, making everything nice and smooth, warm, buttery. Now, while we wait for that pan to heat up, I think let's do the garlic. So I'm going to grab my garlic over here, cut off the butts. Just like that. And then I'm going to give them a little smash, just like that. And that. And I'm going to peel the paper away. Just like that. Breaking them out of their little shells. Taking all the paper away. You don't want any paper to end up in your food, because it'll be tough. Get this little guy. Ooh, look at that. The butter is starting to bubble up a little bit. Let's spread that out across the whole pan. Ooh, look at that. All right. I'm going to drop the onions in, get them started. Yeah, this butter has a nice creamy, almost like a tangy taste to it, which I really like. Okay. Now I'm going to mince up this garlic. Nice, tiny little bits of garlic. You don't have to look. I think it's nice if you can get to know your knife well enough that you don't have to look at what you're cutting, because your fingers know what it is that your fingers know where the knife is, because your knuckles are always in contact with the blade. There we go. Now I'm going to throw this in here. Now, you know me, I'm going to hit it with a little white wine. Actually, a lot. It's so cold out. It's so cold today. Let's give it a lot of white wine. Okay. What else would make this nice and creamy? I'm going to use this. This is a Kite Hill cream cheese. This is made from almonds. Same place that we got the yogurt for the pancake. And I'm just gonna drop a dollop of it in there. Just like that. Get a little more. All right. Let's mix that in a little bit. That looks nice. All right, we'll let that continue to cook. Now, let's prepare these mushrooms. So, basically what you're going to do, you can just wipe them off a little bit. I wouldn't put the mushrooms under water. You don't need to submerge them. You don't want them to soak up all that water. Just brush them lightly. Just like that. Get in there, just like you're cleaning behind your ears. Just scrub this mushroom with a towel. Just like that. Get all those little nooks and crannies. Just keep scrubbing. Get all those little spots. Sometimes it might break away. If it's easier to get at, you can break it up because we're going to smash this up anyway. All right. Now I'm gonna just loosely break these up. I could use the knife to chop it, but I think it would be better to have the pieces a little more natural looking. I don't want to cube them up. So I'm just going to break them up into little pieces like this. I want to keep the orange with each piece. I don't want any of the white interior to be all by itself. That way it kind of looks more tasty. Because this red is so pretty, isn't it? So I'm going to keep some of the red exterior on all the pieces that I break up. Just break it up nice. This is just a wild looking mushroom. I got this at a farmer's market. If you don't see this type of mushroom at the place where you buy food, you could ask them for a lobster mushroom. See if they can get you one. It's so interesting because it really, from a distance, it really looks like broken up bits of lobster, doesn't it? It looks like seafood or crab or something. I'm sure that's why it got its name. Just keeping an eye on our pan here. Turn the heat down a bit. All right. Just about broken up here. There. All right, now I'm going to haul these into our mix, into the pan. That looks good. Move these around a little bit. Hopefully they can soak up some of that nice butter. They'll soak up some of the white wine that we have in there. Now if it ever looks a little dry in the pan, go ahead and just hit it with some, I'm going to use grapeseed oil. Just hit it with a little oil just to keep things moving. Let's test this. Wow. Yeah, this is going to be really great. Okay, now for our creamy sauce. I'm going to use, this is a coconut creamer. It's got a lot of sweetness in it, so with that I don't mind, because we're going to balance it out with the salt and some of the seafood flavor that we're going to add from seaweed. Look at that. bubbling all over the place. Bubbling, bubbling. All right. Okay, let me see if I can find seaweed. This is just seaweed snacks. This is something that's going to give us that fishy flavor. That'll give it that special lobster flavor. Now you don't need to overdo it. I'm going to just use 2 sheets of this. Fold it up. And then just break off little bits in my hand and just scatter them throughout. Look at that color. Isn't that pretty? That translucent green. Nice. Now I thought maybe we would use a little thyme to give it more of that that New Englandy, seafood kind of chowder. I love the smell of thyme. And with that warm, creamy sauce, I think it's going to really give us something very homey and nice. Wow, look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna just pull backwards on these stems and take the leaves off the stem. So that I've pretty much stripped the stem, just like that. Now I'll gather these up and just pulverize them. Just make them as small as we can get. Look at that. Nice little bits to release all that nice flavor, all the oils from the thyme. So here we go. Wow, look at that. I think let's put a couple tomatoes in there. You know what? I was gonna cut them. I'm just gonna squeeze them. I'm gonna just squeeze them right in. Hopefully they don't hit you. There we go. Whoa, they're going everywhere. There we go. There we go. Yeah. That'll give it some, because these particular tomatoes have a lot of acid in them. So they'll give us a nice little acidity to our creamy sauce here. All right. Now I think oh God, it's just weird. It really smells like seafood. It's so weird. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna stretch this a little further because we have so much great flavor here. I think we can afford to thin it out with a little more of the coconut cream. And just move that around gently. You know, it's this part, it looks and tastes so good right now. It could go any way we want. We could salt it. Oh, you know, if there's one thing that I always worry about, it's that it won't be spicy enough. So why don't we start spicing it up? This is a little harissa spice, which I'm going to just throw in. Just like that. Yeah, it's got a nice heat to it. But this has a lot of heat to it. This is basically a cayenne with a little bit of espresso. So this is a hot heat right here. I'll be a little more sparing with that as we set that in. Yeah. Oh yeah. And how about some good old pepper? This is a blend, actually. This is a blend of black pepper, dried onion, parsley, and chile arbol. So you get a nice mix of flavors in there with every turn. And I'm going to stir it all in. Okay, I think it's time to get a little taste of it and see where we're at. It's gonna be good. It needs salt. So our salt is thickening up because of the rain out here. So my pinch of salt doesn't feel the same. Look at it. It's building. See, it's all it's getting all moist and chunky. You know, I always say when you go grab for a pinch of salt, you should go for it by the feeling of the salt. But be careful if you're cooking outside and the salt gets wet. Then you gotta try something else. Alright, let's see how we're doing now. I just like watching it simmer like this. You know what? Let's do a little more of this cream cheese. Because why not? We've got it here. Take another dollop out there. And a dollop there. There we go. All right, now I've already cooked the linguine, so all right. Now I've already cooked the linguine, so we can do one of two things. We could just serve the cold linguine with the hot sauce on top of it, but because it's so cold out today, I think we'll just mix the linguine in. And that way we'll just serve it all kind of home style. It'll just tumble out onto the plate like that. Let me check the taste here. It's so good. It's making me wish we had like bread. I just want to dip bread in it and just eat it. You know, at this point, anything more that we do to it is we're just teasing ourselves. So I think as soon as I think we can just go ahead and throw the linguine in and serve it up. Because it looks just too perfect right now. All right, I'm going to clean up here a little bit. Put all this away. Put this away. You know, I love a clean workspace. It's the best way to keep things moving smoothly. Okay. What should we do? Plates or bowls? How about plates? All right. So, I'm going to throw the linguine in. Figure out how many people you're cooking for. If you're doing 4, then grab little handfuls of the linguine. About like that. We don't want it to be too much for the sauce, so let's make sure we've got enough sauce to go around. Oh yeah, we have. And I'm gonna just toss it around in there. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Okay. You know, and the funny thing is, you forget how cold it is outside. Isn't this the perfect distraction for a cold, gloomy day? Okay. I think we're just about ready. Okay. Now, how do we get it out? I'll use these tongs. How about that? Okay. Here we go. How's that? I'm gonna come around, make sure they all look even. Give everybody an equal amount. Like that. Like, woo. How's that? It's the hardest part, is straightening it out, making everything even. And I'll come around, I'll wipe the sides of the dishes up so that we get a nice, beautiful plate. Oh yeah, I think this one will be our money shot right there. Look at that. Look at the nice, there's the tomato, but then there's the chunks, the red chunks that have the lobster mushroom. Okay. Let me come in here. I'm going to just clean the plate a little bit. I hate to clean it away. I hate to waste any of the sauce. There we go. All right. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Should we taste it? Let's taste it. Okay. I'm gonna taste this one. Okay. Gather up a big bite. Mmm. It just needs a little pinch of salt. Just a pinch. And I'm gonna give it just a little bit of oregano. Just a little bit. Yeah. All right. Now let's try it again. Oh, it is so good. Wait till you try it.